Cool.
Have one flag in the last 11 years, so I don't think you can really call them the best team in the competition.
No one ever claimed
Richmond,
BT to be the
Richmond and
smartest.
Hawthorne say hold my beer.
Right.
So this is another one of those. This is another one of those stupid thing BT says without actually factually having a way to prove it. It's like you can be consistent. That's great. But the issue with their consistency is they consistently lose in the preliminary final. Until this year, they had lost like 3 or 4 straight.
I guess it just takes
Except
a
for
historically
2020.
good
My bad.
offense.
I knew I was missing one. 2020 was the last prelim they actually won.
Okay.
Is it out or are they going to call high?
They called high.
That's probably a little bit of a gift for Sydney there. I think he was fully out of bounds when he got tackled, but it's still the high contact.
Oh, geez. Dangerfield again. Ryan Wise.
So remember what we were saying about the ball
Oh,
bounce?
Sydney went harder to the ball.
clattering over each other.
That's McInerney.
Uh-oh.
Mars.
Ryan Wise. High.
On the ball.
Boys, do something.
Geelong.
And for me, that's not holding. That's not holding the ball. He grabs it and gets pushed forward.
He never even truly had it.
Yep.
Oh well.
See,
I'd
he
rather
grabs
have
it,
I'd
gets
rather have them
tackled.
blow the call when we're 53 points down than when we're 3 points down.
Yeah, but that's one of those that really needs to be adjusted because that's not dragging it in. That's literally being tackled as you're collecting it.
Oh, Lord.
This is giving me nightmares of 14 against the Hawks.
Oh. Oh boy. You know what? I guess whoever embedded the under for 164 and a half is going to get that. Not because both teams didn't score, just because.
Right.
Oh. What do you think it would take for Isaac to get to win the norm over Danger? Think he
It's
do it
probably
right now?
either one of the two. I think if Isaac can go and get
If
one or two
Isaac
more goals.
kicks, if Isaac kicks 2 more goals and has 5 goals in the game, there's definitely a possibility.
Just a possibility. Dang.
Well, because I still think Dangerfield has made the most impact in this game.
Gotcha.
You can kick goals, but you got it. It's the game impact.
And right there's danger.
Yeah, Dangerfield was on great.
Absolute
just talking.
bomb. Oh. Cullen says in the chat, somebody hit Danger Flog.
oh, Cullen.
Man, that was so close to being a good mark too.
We need to make a book called Oh, James Robottom took a shot.
Oh,
Stevens. Robottom down for the count.
at the end of the day, like, yeah,
There's another high.
Robottom's still down. You feeling that one?
Well, because another one of those
Shots
gets hit and wasn't 100% ready for it.
Nope. At the end of the day, I can rest a little bit easier knowing that I'm cool with Dangerfield winning one because he's an absolute legend and I'm kind of happy that he can get one.
That's respectable. Yeah.
And then at the same
Well,
time, it's like we've got the list together to where we can put together a run of a couple of trips to prelims in a couple of years and hopefully make one or two more grand finals over the next course of
Oh yeah.
the future.
And that's why, and as I had said in the podcast, Ross, I still say this Swans team is early.
Geelong.
This was not when I saw it. Yep,
Well, you think it
they're
would be a
trying
couple
to
more
take on
years?
they're trying to take on too many tacklers.
Is that what you thought, Don? You think what do you think timeline is like?
I
Maybe a
still
couple more
think I still
seasons?
think they're a season ahead, like
Season ahead.
legitimately.
No, I don't think that's horrible. And last year they were just early.
Well,
Well, and then
last year was
imagine a fully activated and fully like talented Braden Campbell. I mean, like he there's still a lot of potential that we can extract from this team. Like once Braden Campbell comes of age and once Logan comes of age, and then you've still got Callum Mills who's in the prime of his career and he's got several more years in his prime, and then same with Dylan Stevens getting him more developed, Warner, Rowbottom, all those different guys. Lots of people in the side aren't going anywhere. I mean, except for Franklin, who's got one more year, but you knew that was something you could be able to plan for with him on his way out. So
Mm-hmm.
there's just so much young talent in the team. Goulden too.
Tom Hickey probably gonna be out the door pretty soon too.
That's going to be one of the areas that Sydney's going to need to address is
Laddams was
finding
brought in for.
Yeah.
Laddams was brought in for that because Laddams is only 23 years old. So it's Hickey. Laddams is Hickey's understudy. So because and the other thing too that I also look at it too is if you look at last year, Blakey broke his ankle, was done for the season. Callum Mills was still hurt going into that game last year in the finals. So the Sydney team that lost to GWS was not even at full strength either. So I look at it a little bit was last year they were early because I was expecting a step up but not making the finals. They made the finals. Yes, they lost in the eliminator, but they also took a few injuries late in the season that I think really kind of cost them the year. This year it's the same thing. I was expecting an increase in wins. Was I expecting a top 4 finish? Absolutely not. I was not. I was expecting a top 8 finish.
Yeah.
So
I put y'all at 6 on my prediction list at the beginning.
Exactly.
I think
you're
I
not
was
the,
like 5
you're
or
not the only
6.
guy. I think I was the same. I think I put him in the one of the eliminator finals. So it's like I still don't. They made the top 4 again, but I still don't think they're not at the peak of their powers yet.
There's Hawkins again.
And that's the issue. That's the issue when if Sydney turns the ball over and Geelong can run, when you've got Hawkins leading out chest to the ball with nobody to stop him. I mean, that's like shelling peas for these guys. So.
Now, what do we think in the comment, Rob Storm? Sydney pathetic. Collingwood would have been a better matchup.
Again, I don't agree with that because that's hindsight. We don't know that.
I would say I would have liked to seen the rematch from their round 1, finals week 1 game because that was really good.
True. But then my favorite response is that then they learned everything from what happened with Collingwood.
Mm-hmm.
This could have happened to Collingwood too. Again, hindsight's 2020. We don't know that.
Now I will say I don't think anybody in the comp is beating Geelong on the day. I mean,
exactly.
Right now they're playing out of their mind right now.
If they're playing this way, even Collingwood gets smashed. Because
I think every team in the comp gets smashed.
Oh, exactly. Like the way they're playing right now, I don't think there's a single team in the entire competition that's even close.
Right. One thing Dunny and I were kind of talking about going to this game is I want to see what you guys and what that chat has to say.
They just moved Paddy McCartan forward.
Oh. So if this year's Geelong team played last year's Melbourne team, who would have won?
Geelong.
Yeah.
Looking at this way, I have zero doubt Geelong. No, not even close.
This Geelong team looking hard to beat right now.
Bro, is this?
Like
are
I
we
said,
going to talk about this 22 Geelong team like it is one of the greatest offenses of all time? Maybe just one of the best teams in general of all time.
It's you could make the argument. You could definitely make the argument.
Defense is what makes them crazy, bro.
Their defense is good. It went overlooked
Their
just because
defense,
amazing.
it's a little bit of tactics too. Like there's no way to argue that this is a tactical masterclass that Scott has done for this group, because he's taking a position that's usually for some people a disadvantage and made it an advantage, because he has a ruckman that, if you really look at it, should not do what he does.
Steez, Rob says Carlton will be there next year.
Man, we hope so, man. We'll be in there, man.
They have to stay healthy.
Nah, Jeremy is West Coast Eagles all day, every day, man.
You mean
Cripps gonna get 60 disposals a game, and then they're gonna win the granny.
Yeah,
I think West Coast is gonna. I think they may try to the old proverbial rebuild. Unfortunately,
Clean house.
Yep.
Or you mean the greatest American Australian football player of all time, Mason Cox, is going to be making a move to GWS this offseason and is going to lead that team to their first grand final win in team history? Yeah, it's going to happen.
Keep telling yourself that in your sleep.
Ross, please get off the drugs. They're making you hallucinate.
It's not drugs. It's just hardcore optimism.
Because here's the thing: if they're going to trade Grundy out, they're not going to get rid of Cox, because then they have nobody after Cameron.
Don't care. I want Cox. I'm wearing a shirt right now, Don.
Somebody clip that moment.
See,
I was about to make the comment.
Well, you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Maybe I'll show the back of my shirt, but Donnie knows right now. This shirt on the back of it says, "I love Big Cox," with Mason Cox on it. It's my favorite.
He sent me that one. Said he was going to send me a shirt. I said, "Dude, I'm never wearing that outside."
Yeah, I sent him a normal one.
Oh,
no, on the back of the shirt.
Another one for Tyson.
On the back of the shirt, it's a heart with Mason Cox's silhouette and goggles on, and says, "I love Big Cox," or "I heart Big Cox."
I remember a couple of years ago, the Nashville Predators were playing the Stanley Cup final, and they had a goalie named Pekka Rinne, and there was a woman in the front row right next to the glass with a sign that says, "Girls love a big Pekka." I was like, okay, yep.
Dick euphemisms. So good. Oh, boy. We're all super mature people.
Now that guy's finally
Mason Cox actually already has a podcast. And I don't know where he gets the time, but he has a whole podcast while he's playing in finals games.
Well, I'm saying, man, he needs to come on to one of ththese American ones. Show himself some love.
Yeah,
that's what I'm be trying to do this offseason, is just get him on. I'll send him a T-shirt too. I seen his address, or a mailbox. I'll send him a T-shirt for sure. Have to get a size like 5X to fit his height.
I tried to say.
Now let's pull up the updated stats, see what we got.
man. So Isaac Smith.
Isaac Smith on 22 disposals, Dangerfield on 19, Duncan on 18, Selwood 17, Blitzaz on 17.
We got score involvements.
Score involvements. Stengel 4 straight, Hawkins 3 and 3, Smith 3 straight, Close with 2 straight.
Ooh, okay.
I'd say right now I would still give it Norm Smith to Dangerfield unless Smith goes and gets 2 more goals.
Mm-hmm. I agree. If Smith gets 5, then he'll get it. But
Dangerfield's got 4 tackles.
One thing I like to, I absolutely
Dangerfield with 8 clearances and 7 inside 50s with 387 meters gained.
Jeez. Dude, I miss him so much, but I would love to see Jeremy Cameron get a flag here.
Well, unless you have a monumental fall apart by the Cats, I
Right.
think
Ain't
that's,
happening.
Do my best not
Yeah.
to jinx, because I'm not trying to be that guy for Geelong. Maybe I'll try. No, maybe I should try to jinx. I picked Sydney in this one. Yeah, Geelong's going to win it, right? Oh, never mind. That was a reverse jinx.
Right.
Oh, oh boy. I'm sorry. I'll just stop
This
talking.
is so bad.
Oh.
It's all Ross's fault, guys.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
go blame me. So if you're a Sydney fan, go ahead, subscribe. If you want to hate on me the whole time. If you're a Geelong fan, subscribe because you should love me now.
Right.
Isn't that how it works?
Isaac Smith, Hawks fans hating him every
Ross is Geelong fan TV.
no, he's GWS fan TV.
Polos.
Isaac slots this, and
I swear, from what I see,
I
I'm the
am.
most optimistic GWS fan out there. God.
I won't disagree with that. I would completely agree with that.
Dude, that's what I do with the Broncos right now. Like, I run the Mile High Report Instagram, and everyone wants to be negative right now. I do my best to be positive, but in the comments just go, okay, but we suck. And I'm like, dude,
Right.
come on. It's not the point.
Huh.
Let's look at the good stuff, because we see the
Whenever-
bad stuff every Sunday.
yeah, whenever I watch the Vikings, I like to think of it a lot like my golf game. Like I'll have a good drive, and then I'll have a really bad wedge shot, or I'll have a really crappy drive, and then I'll have a really good wedge shot. It's like you can't have two good ones in a row. So that's kind of like what I do with the Vikings. It's like you have a good game against Green Bay, crap game against Philly, need to win against Detroit. Then you're gonna have a game in London where you're probably gonna end up laying an egg against the Saints. So you're gonna end up being a total.
The Broncos have
Flip-flop
to go
type
to
of thing.
London this year, too. Not looking forward to it.
There's gonna be a game in Munich this year at Bayern Munich Stadium.
Yeah, well, that's the Bucks and someone else.
Bucks and Seahawks.
Bucks and Seahawks. That's such a weird matchup. The Seahawks are going to get massacred.
Well, I would have thought that they would have put a Chiefs game there just because Bayern Munich and the Kansas City Chiefs have a strategic partnership. That and Bayern also just had a game in Green Bay this year, so I would have thought that the Packers would have played in it. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a stupid American.
I think since it's in Germany, the defenses have to blitz on every play.
Right.
That's a rule I want to see.
Hawkins down to the rooms.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Well, it's all turning now, folks. Hawkins is out. Sydney gonna win by 4, confirmed.
Oh man. Somebody's about to start taking over.
Yeah, Lance Franklin's gonna be like, Nick Davis, hold my beer.
He said Buddy kicks 10 in 1 quarter.
Right. And at the 11th hour, they have won.
Actually, they need
How
12.
many
so he
disposals
needs
does
13.
Buddy have in this game? I don't.
Like
Yeah,
2.
like 3.
He has 3. Like Lance.
I was
has
close.
3
I said
disposals.
2.
Right.
Right, I guess.
The only players with fewer disposals are Buse, who also has 3, and then McLean and Medi Sub Campbell.
Wow.
So obviously the talk of this game is going to be just how damn dangerous that Cats offense is, but I think their defense should probably get a lot more credit than it's going to get.
I think where they won the game was just dominating the ruck battle.
Yep.
I think Blitzos did a
midfield.
great job in the ruck against Hickey, and Dangerfield doing a great job cleaning up the rucks and just bombing it inside 50. And then Smith up at half forward and Hawkins at full forward. I mean, those guys were just on the receiving end of everything.
Bro, with those
Stengel
stats
playing
up,
well.
what's the contested marks at? Seems like Geelong would have a pretty sizable lead in that one.
Hitouts are 34-20 to Geelong. Center clearances are 10-7. Stoppage clearances are 19-16 Sydney. Contested possessions is 116-80 for Geelong. Uncontested possessions 162 to 118. 58 turnovers for Sydney compared to 45 for the Cats.
It's more than I thought the Cats had.
Yep. They pushed McCartan forward.
As well.
Yeah.
The one thing that couldn't happen for the Swans if they wanted to stay in, it happened. So
Well, Patty Dangerfield is officially an AFL Premier. Credit to that man.
Good for him. Honestly, I have no idea how to pronounce it. I think I'm just going to say Genwill in the chat. He wants to know who your guys' NFL teams are. So Brad, Vikings. I am a Broncos fan. Donnie, do you have one? I know you're not a big NFL guy.
If you twist my arm, I'd say the Cincinnati Bengals. But to be 100% honest with you, my Sundays do not involve any NFL at all.
Exactly. We know that. What about you, boys? Who's the NFL team?
What is AFL?
NFL.
Oh, NFL.
Yeah.
Team, Raiders.
I guess I'm a Bears fan, man. I really don't follow the NFL, but if I had to.
Oh, so like pretty much all four of us are just sad right now then. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even for our AFL teams, we're all just pretty sad right now. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you losing the
sad but
grand
optimistic
final
for the future.
I'm just sad.
I try not to do that.
Oh, dude, no football's good for us right now. This is tough. My baseball team sucks. My hockey team sucks. My football teams.
Who's your hockey team?
The Sharks, bro.
Oof.
Right? So
I'm a Blackhawks fan, and I literally just decided to stop supporting them just because morally and talent-wise on the ice, they've gone completely in the bin.
Yeah.
Well, it's
one of
those huge ass contracts that everybody's like, that's a great deal at the time. Always come home to roost towards the end of them, and the Taves and Kane.
I like
the Taves and Kane contracts have come back to bite Chicago because now they have no money to keep anybody.
I love one of the comments in the chat says, "Yeah, go long cats." GOLONG.
Yeah.
We are go long.
Wait, Brad, what's with that little Yankees thing in the background?
I'm in the guest room right now,
Okay.
so I'm usually in my room, but my light is not working, so I switched my setup.
Ready.
I'm guessing you would like a Twins fan or something like that. Keep it in Minnesota.
I'm not a huge baseball fan anymore, but if you had to twist my arm, I would be a Cubs fan. Cubs and the Twins.
Okay. That sucks. I'm sorry.
Right.
At least the Twins.
I saw 2016. That's all I needed. That was good enough to last me a life. Yeah, that was enough to last me a lifetime.
I'm just waiting. Hopefully, GWS wins the grand final within 15 years. That's what I'm hoping for.
Hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
Come on, 15, man. That's
if the Swans can break a 72-year drought, if the Bulldogs can break a 62-year drought, and the D's can break whatever drought they had, I think eventually one day GWS will have one.
I hope so, man. But one thing that sucks is the A's are the best farm system for other MLB teams, and it seems like with GWS with how their contracts are working out right now, they're the best farm team for.
You see that video? There was a video of the Pittsburgh Pirates and their minor league system, how they fed up with McCutchen and Cole and all those guys, how they completely just shit away everybody.
Oh, bro, you don't have to say that. Freaking General in the chat says Tasmania will win the premiership before GWS.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, that's probably true, though.
That's tough.
Dang. Oh, that hurts. You better be subscribed for dropping that. Nick says he's celebrating his D's ending the 59-year drought. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. I'm not jealous. Oh, that's tough, bro. Damn, he got me good.
The fighting Tazzies.
Well, it sounds like the way everything has kind of changed, that they're pretty much good to go.
Oh. Okay.
That sounds like it's just they just got to get everything figured out when it comes to the new stadium, but most of the clubs have kind of come around to the license probably will get approved. It'll be probably 2026, 2027 before they start in the AFL at all, because they'll have to go through VFL to build an initial list. But everything that I'm hearing from all the podcasts is it's not a foregone conclusion, but it's like 95%. It's just getting that last little bit when it comes to the stadium taken care of, and
That's kind of like the
We will
pro
have
soccer
a
team in
we will
Iowa.
have a team. Yeah, exactly. We'll have a Tasmanian team in the AFL. The $9 million question is, do they try to get a 20th team in, or do we go to the point where each team will get a bye over the season at one time or another? So
How do you feel about having a 20-team league?
as long as it's a Northern Territory 20th team, yeah.
Do you feel like it'll water down the talent in the AFL at all?
Honestly, like I've thought about this, and I'm gonna say, and again, it's maybe I'm radical with this. Honestly, this is what I think would fix that problem. And again, it'd piss off some people, but I really don't care. I think the lists are too big. I think the lists currently are what, 45? I think if you cut that list down to 35, that's 10 players from 18 teams. That's 180 players. That covers your two new teams easily.
Dude, what do you think
And what it does is that you could, even if you want to do some kind of expansion draft to where you could a little bit to where you could bring in some talent from the other teams to even out both the Northern Territory team and it would split the talent that much more. And if you had smaller list sizes, now people have to be even smarter with it, and you don't have to worry about this dilution of talent argument. There's tons of players in the state leagues that can probably play AFL. There's just so few spots that you get that's what kind of happens.
Well, I want to
Like,
propose. Oh yeah, go ahead, Donnie.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I want to propose something. I mean, I've already gotten a whole bunch of flack, sometimes on purpose now, talking about overtime in footy, because that's a fun thing to talk about to get people riled up. Here, let me throw this. I want the AFL to institute the expansion draft like we have in the NHL. We'll do that for the Tassie team and the NT team.
I mean, it would
Be
work
fun to see.
because I was saying it to somebody one time. I said the best part about most of the American styles expansion drafts is that it basically forces teams. It's like, okay, you can only save this person, and this person. The only difference that you have is you have no trade clauses in American contracts. You don't have no trade clauses in Aussie rules contracts. So I think you may have to make it a little bit more like there may be more protections to where you can protect certain amount of players because you don't have that you don't have the no trade clause in some of the AFL contracts because they don't do trading the same way Americans do, where you're kind of just property.
Yeah.
Well, you basically are.
You're right.
If you really think about it, the way American sports people are is you're basically property. You're being paid 20-30 million as property of the particular team.
Ryan Moyes.
God, Moss.
Ryan Moss.
But honestly, if you did that, that would end your talent question, and it would actually probably make it a little bit easier for the expansion teams to be more competitive.
Stengel.
He kicked it. No, he didn't.
Oh, wow.
Red, bro. There's too much red around there. You have to get it out.
Enthralling analysis from BT.
Guess it's a good thing I don't have any
Anything
volume
else?
on.
Oh, I thought he said looks like.
I've gotten to the point now. I just ignore him because 2/3 of the things that come out of his mouth are uneducated and usually wrong. My other favorite is when he gives us an opinion that nobody wants and nobody cares what it is. Well, I think we don't care. BT, call the game and shut the fuck up. Like, dude, if we wanted your opinion, go do special comments. If you're not going to do special comments, don't give us your opinion because we don't care. Give us Daisy's opinion. Give us Hodges' opinion. You call the game and sit down and shut the fuck up. Like, he annoys the shit out of me that he does that so
Drama.
much. It's the
Drama.
most annoying thing in the world. It's like, dude, you're not special comments.
Oh,
That
you
should be
pass.
holding the ball. That should be holding the ball there.
How?
Never kick.
Are you? Wow. I mean,
Yep.
I'd be more mad if it was a close game.
Yep. See?
Go
Improper
on,
disposal.
Mize.
Didn't kick it.
Luke Parker, Kellen Mills.
Or BT's Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Duckwood, Stanley. Not sure. O'Connor.
Nick in the chat says he likes
Oh.
BT just because he can be a funny commentator. Maybe not intentionally, but yes, I agree.
He is funny.
Jays.
Parker.
Nobody wants the footy, then why do they have it, BT? Again, stupid things BT says. Nobody wants the footy. Well, then why are people grabbing it? Why are people catching handballs? Come on, BT. Use your fucking brain for more than a hat rack.
Give Donnie an hour-long soapbox to go off on BT.
We've had
I
that.
just-
I'm pretty sure we've had that a couple times.
Okay, he was a great play. Here's the thing that really annoys me. Just because you're a great player, does not make you a great commentator, a great coach, or a great person. I mean, all due respect, and I don't care who I piss off. Wayne Carey is the biggest piece of shit human being I've ever seen in my life. Yet the son of a bitch keeps getting more and more opportunities. Congratulations, you're a great footballer. All due respect, you're a shit human being, and I don't care who I offend saying it.
Oh,
Yeah, Jim. Well, you had the right idea there, buddy.
Jeremy, enjoy the gardening.
Quick kick, Chad Warner.
I like this. It's a lot of fun, just having like three of us replying to different
No.
chats.
Oh, yeah.
And the funny
Going off
part
on
is,
different tangents.
But yeah, Jeremy, enjoy the gardening, my friend. Yeah, you go do that.
Take it easy.
Hey, man, West Coast all day, every day.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Get around him.
there we go, boys. When are we celebrating that goal? That's a big one. That's like
Chad Warner.
it's going to happen. It's going to come back
Wands.
now.
I never thought I'd say it, but the AFL women's team actually had a more competitive game than the men's. I didn't think I would be able to say that.
Right.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully at all. Like, legitimately don't mean it disrespectfully. But the women's team unfortunately was struggling and played to a 1-point game yesterday against the Hawks and just fell short.
There you go. Here's a call from Nick in the chat. Warner's a future Brownlow winner.
Well, if you ask Purple from Triple M,
Purple.
that's Damian Barrett. It's one of his nicknames. I listen to way too many Australian podcasts.
Dangerfield. He doesn't have
No
a
such
lot of
thing.
protection.
Dangerfield with another freaking clearance.
Oh, sharing the sugar.
So Dangerfield with
Marco.
another center clearance, and he passed up his
Is
one
that-
chance at goal.
Who was it? Dangerfield?
Dangerfield.
Well, that's just going to rack up score involvement right there. Man, the boy.
Yep.
The
Dangerfield.
ultimate team player.
Bible set shot. Time out.
Honestly, that's so funny how that assist probably just is the one that solidified him to win Norm Smith.
I think he won Norm Smith after halftime.
Yeah. Not even
Isaac was giving him a bit of a run,
I
but
thought
yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
Isaac was
The three
making
goals gives Isaac Smith a good shot, but I just all the involvement.
he would have
everything.
needed 2 more, as Hawkins would have needed 4 more.
Isaac was involved in that too as well.
Oh, good point.
And then of course Isaac Smith was the one that gave it to Dangerfield, who then gave it to Cameron. Jazza Cameron, you beauty.
That's a pretty nifty little goal right there, though. Now they're just showing off,
They're getting the whole team involved.
right?
I can't believe of all people that Tyson Stengel ended up getting 4 goals in this game.
So obviously, like I better hear the answer. I think I will in this one. But you're a Swans fan. You're staying till after the whole trophy presentation stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I got nothing else going on.
There we go. Oh, but that's the reason.
Oh, I would have stayed up regardless. Donnie, does Iowa play at 11?
No, they're 6 p.m. against Rutgers out east.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. They
that's
have the
gonna be
prime
a
time.
game actually. Okay.
Well, Iowa might go and get a 5-3 win.
What was that?
No, they're going
No,
to win.
I think with Nico Reganey coming back, Nico Reganey and Keegan Johnson both being back, I'm honestly like I think the offense is going to open up a little bit because I think that was the issue those first couple of weeks is when you've only got one scholarship wide receiver in your entire roster, and then you have freshmen and walk-ons. It's just a bad combination. So
You want to know? I'm calling it right now. Iowa wins 8-7 with 4 safeties.
Oh, wow.
Or
They put up 20
two field,
hey, they
two
put up
field
20
goals and a safety.
No,
Two
4
field
put up
safeties.
20
not
they
even
put
field
up
goal.
27 against Nevada. Again, it's Nevada, and I think their offensive
The mighty
line started to
Wolf Pack.
Yeah, well, my favorite thing is everybody's like, this is one of the worst teams in the NCAA football. They were 2-1 at the time. So if they're the worst team in football, how did they win 2 games?
Then that means Boise State just lost to the actual worst team in football. They lost 27-10 to UTEP. Team's a mess.
He's literally tackling him by his head.
Dude, it looked like he was pulling like a guillotine.
He was pulling his head
Bro,
down.
that was a standing guillotine, bro. We're just watching
Right.
MMA at this point. Jeez.
Give us your MMA analysis, Ross.
Dude, I got
do
you.
we
Well,
rate
that was pretty. That wasn't great though because he
Oh,
didn't have any
again?
hooks in there. He was just kind of holding onto the head, and it's easy to slip out. His grip wasn't great, and should have gotten the cable in there. If you really want to put him to sleep.
And as if this game did not have enough, Tom Hawkins steps back with another chance at goal.
Well, it's the one issue is you have no helpers, and Hawkins is just quick enough, and there's nothing McCartan can do. He's doing everything he can. It's just
that says it all right there. Mark's inside 50, 15-4 for the Cats.
Gosh, dude, that's the game, huh? I mean,
Oh, it
in
was
that
game.
stat,
Second goal of the third
stat,
quarter,
That's
that
what I
was
mean.
game.
That's what I mean. In
But
that
yeah.
stat,
Oh.
That's the summary of the game. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I am not meaning that this
Comes
goal
back.
is the game.
And miss it.
Oh, never mind.
Hawkins
Just
has had 7 shots at goal in this game.
Dude.
3 goals, 4 behinds.
Now, if he kicked 7 straight, is he the Norm Smith?
If he kicks 7 straight, yeah, that's Norm Smith.
Oh,
I don't know what the all-time high is for goals in a grand final, but I think it's got to be.
probably
What is it
sound
like?
like
I think
the
it's
40s.
9. I think Ablett had 9 in one, and then they still lost.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Gaz Senior had 9 in a grand final, and they still lost.
Okay,
that
so
was the 80. That was the 89, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so there's a
yeah.
couple times in NFL history where the Super Bowl MVP was on the losing team.
Oh,
Has
it
a
happens.
losing player ever gone to Norm Smith?
Oh
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. Nathan Buckley did know too.
Okay.
Yep, there's been a couple of times that the Norm Smith has been on the losing team, but it doesn't happen often. Normally
Same thing with
the
Conn Smythe
easy-
on the
the
losing
easy-
team in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
it's one of those. Very rarely does it happen because you have to have like just the absolute insanely good game to get it in a losing.
And then there's a sarcastic cheer for Buddy getting a disposal. He's back on it again.
But
crowd goes crazy.
Oh, look at that. What a kick.
Paps.
Oh,
Paps going for one.
With a little stiff arm there.
Yeah, missed it.
I don't think he stiff armed it. I just think he had the quick turn, and DeConing didn't have enough ability to turn quick enough.
Okay, it looked like he might have gotten a little contact there.
No,
Well, and here's the crazy. This sums up perfectly. If you take a look at the scoreboard and total score involvements, 29-9
Thanks,
for
Nick, in the
Geelong.
chat.
There is a way through them. They just didn't find a way. There's too much field to not know. I hate when people say that. Just because a team doesn't do it doesn't mean that it's impossible. You just have to find the way.
I feel like there's going to be one gap in that 10 square miles of field that we play at the MCG. Sorry, kilometers, you guys. There you go. That's for the
Kilos.
chat. So I talk all this stuff. People get at me with kilometers and centimeters and stuff. I'm just going to start going back to the old school days. We're measuring stuff in cubits.
Right.
Don't die that. No more.
Yeah,
no
we
more
had some,
bitching.
we had some fun with
Giant
that.
They got to
Oh, that's
100K.
crazy. They got 100,000 there, highest since
Hey, Colin, I got you,
1986.
man.
That's cool. That's good stuff.
Oh shit.
Do you think the MCG finally got the whole beer situation settled by now? I remember that was all the talk in the first couple rounds. It was
Oh, another
great.
one.
Oh,
This is crazy. Don't lose by 100, please.
Pocket.
Oh, jeez.
oh boy.
And Parfit, the Medi sub, I think just came on for Guthrie. I think that's his first kick of the ball.
Number 3 shit.
Oh, I don't know if you guys caught that, but there was a Cats and Swans fan sitting next to each other, and the Cats fan was rubbing the other guy's chest, almost like just being sorry.
Did you see the meme of the huge Iowa fan just like tank top, backwards hat, sunglasses, and just like covering his face like that?
Oh no.
Yep.
That was during the South Dakota State shambles.
Yep. Which is really funny because they won that game. That's the
Oh,
funniest
yeah.
part about
Was that the one they won 7-6
Chris turned
without
it up.
7-3 with 2 safeties.
They won
That's right.
seven. They won
Two
7 to
safeties and a
3
field
with
goal.
2 safeties and a field goal.
That's the most Iowa
I mean, yeah, I
game
heard
I've
this.
ever seen in my life. It's
It was
amazing.
very
it's not.
sad.
Good on
No,
that.
It
it's
was
not.
very, very
No,
sad.
it's
Sorry.
not. The most Iowa game I've ever seen ended 4-3. That is the most Iowa game I've ever seen. It was a game against Penn State. There were 2 safeties and a field goal. That was the entire game, front on contact.
I am still waiting for
Daddy.
I am still waiting for the game that ends. Oh, wait, no. I'm waiting for
Patty
I
McCartan's
need
going
Iowa
to get his grand final goal.
I need to Iowa in the same game to score a safety and then the 1-point safety. That would be the Iowa game right there.
A 3-0 victory with a safety and a 1-pointer.
Yes.
How do you get a 1?
So the 1-point safety is the
That's
version-
like-
so it's like when the team lines up to, it's only on the 2-point conversion though, I think. Yeah.
Because
so-
you have to like you have to give it to the other team. Like you have to turn it over, and then the other team has to
so
fumble it out of the
on
back
a
of the end zone.
or
isn't
so
it?
on the point after
Okay.
attempt.
All right.
The
'Cause I'm
defending
like, if you're,
team has to
like
block the
talking
kick.
about like going for a field goal, having it blocked and taken back, that's
Yeah,
2
no.
points.
Yeah, so it's like they go and so it's only on the 2-point conversions. They go the defending team blocks the kick and then picks the ball up and runs on their own back into the end zone and gets tackled. That's the 1-point
Yeah,
safety.
that's right.
And I've seen it happen once. I think it was Baylor or in TCU or Baylor in Oregon. Or
It was some bowl game. I
I know
remember
it was
it.
TCU in Oregon. It was a bowl game, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. And I don't think I've been riding that high.
Well, everybody was so confused. Even the commentators are like, "What in the?
Even
what in
the
hell's a
refs took like
1-point
an
What
hour
in
to
the blue
talk
hell
about
is
it.
happening?
Yeah,
It was awesome, man. Apparently, oh yeah. So, Jen Will says that so it's the highest crowd by 2 people since 1986 because 2018 had 100,022. Today we have 100,024. So barely setting a new a mark since 86. Now I'm assuming that they measure, like in most places do, they measure ticket sales and not actual people in the crowd, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because what would be fun if they actually measure people.
that's how the WWE sets their records. They do.
Well,
because
that's why they sell out every day, right? Because imagine you trying to get the grand final numbers here. You get two dudes that their car breaks down. You miss out on the record by a couple guys.
Right. So in terms of disposals, Mitch Duncan is now tied Dangerfield at 25. Smith's still on top with 28. 3 goals and a behind for Smith.
That contestant possession margin is large. Look at that inside 50s, dude. 61-27.
That doesn't happen very often.
Gosh.
Three Geelong players, and they all stuff it up, and Buddy almost got it.
Right.
That's why Buddy Franklin's the greatest player of all time. He caused that just mentally. His presence just shed fear into Geelong.
They were shook.
About to be another one.
Not gonna lie, man. Probably
If
into
Stengel
the goal.
goes and gets 5.
Dangerfield with the goal of the game.
Dunks.
Smith.
Dangerfield.
Goal of the game.
Oh, come on.
Honestly,
The
that was
coning on the goal line.
That is a ridiculous goal by
that's
Dangerfield.
pretty nutty, dude.
That wasn't a goal
Oh.
by Dangerfield. The coning grabbed it on the goal line and put it through.
Oh,
Oh,
did he grab it on the goal line?
Yeah.
oh, never mind. That's sad. Oh, I thought that was his own goal, and that would have been amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Oh, that would have been a ripper of one. Man, looks like these dudes are just playing ball at recess right now. This is.
Yep.
Oh,
That was so fast.
I don't
See?
know. I
The coning
swear.
catches it and then puts it through.
Still, what a kick!
Oh,
from
okay,
Dangerfield.
that happened so
Definitely
quick. I didn't even
Smith.
know this. And I promise you guys, I swear I'm not trying to rub this in because I want the Swans to win. But like, does this feel similar to like when I was watching the Broncos Seahawks Super Bowl? I just felt I was sad at first, and I just kind of gave up and like wasn't really feeling anything. Is that similar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad. That's what
Yeah.
Like I said, I look at it like this. This is a learning experience. This is basically a learning experience.
absolutely.
It was never touched. That's going to be a goal.
We're all saying positive.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's they got to a grand final. It's you have to learn something from this.
How
It's
far was that out from? That was pretty.
No,
right around
55.
50.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. Jeez.
And like I said, if you look at this in the next 5 years, this Cats team's going to change a lot in the next 5 years. Where the Swans, if they can contract wise, because Buddy's dropping down contract wise, they can sign some of their youngsters. Sydney should be much more whole in the next 5 years than the Cats. Because
I
the
mean,
Cats
so
will
let's
have
think.
several
So
retires.
they just signed Mills through 27, right?
The Mills
They've got-
Mills re-signed, both the McCartans re-signed, both the Warners re-signed,
Rowbottom
I'm a
re-signed.
diehard Broncos fan.
Rowbottom signed.
Parker
so-
re-signed.
That game sucked for me. It was a bad day. Bad
So-
day.
So the next real round of contracts to be
Well,
And they're gonna end up
signed,
being-
they still haven't signed Lloyd, which I may be in the minority here. If we lose Lloyd, I'm not gonna cry too much. And I know some Swans fans are gonna look at me like I'm nuts. If we lose Jake Lloyd, I'm not gonna complain too much because I think Blakey and McInerney can do the same thing that Lloyd does and almost do it better. So for me, it's almost a situation where if it would save us some money to let Lloyd go, I wouldn't be too adverse to it. It's unrealistic attempt. Okay, that makes 0 sense. Because there's the other guy there, Braden Campbell, that I think can step into Lloyd's position and do his
Well,
job
yeah.
just as good.
well, and then that's what I was about to say next is that you've got to also think about you're going to have to eventually re-sign Goulden, Campbell, and McDonald.
Goulden's already re-signed. Logan McDonald's already re-signed. Campbell is the only one of those draft picks that year that hasn't.
I know you guys are actually talking about something important that matters to what we're doing right now, but I just want to say I hate how British people and Australians spell the word center. That's all. Just want to put that out there.
The most random ass thing ever.
Or when
My
they
God.
put the letter U into the word favorite or into the word color.
Where's that come from? Man? What are you guys doing over there? It's not centre, it's center. Okay.
Centre. Centre.
Nick, get out of here in chat, bro. No, spell it right. Spell it right. Oh no, he's typing color. It's color. It's
Color.
color. No, it's color.
Favorite.
Well, and for
Another
them,
one.
and for them, debut is debut.
Oh,
Debut.
it's no, they ruined it too.
Selwood.
Oh,
Oh, and why not a skipper goal for Selwood?
Let's go. Okay, that's awesome. That's badass.
I think we very well might be seeing the last game of Joel Selwood's career.
probably.
Good for him, man.
Just the way that
That's
looks
awesome.
right there, that tells me that's gonna be it for him.
It seems like he kind of told the team a little something, don't you think?
Yeah. I would not be surprised at all if it's it for him.
Well, what better way to go out, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Be like the sheriff riding off after
bro.
Super Bowl 50.
Bro, boys, freaking Jenwell in chat, he's been destroying me. Now he says, how do you spell loser? GWS.
Oof.
Oh my gosh.
Get a body bag. Get a body bag.
Here,
Ross
bro.
is dead.
Oh, he's killing me. This is like really great jokes, by the way. But like, oh, bro,
RIP.
this sucks. Oh, damn.
Oh, look at Selwood's family. That's awesome.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep tonight, man. I'm just gonna be thinking how bad like I roasted up tonight. Gosh, dude.
Yeah, having to put some aloe vera on your burnt skin.
Dude, thank God it's not like we just got out of summer. I'm not supposed to be getting burnt anymore, all right?
Right. And now Jezza Cameron going for another one.
Let's go. I need to see double pythons here.
That is 20 goals on the night for Geelong.
Gosh, dude.
He's cracking open a beer.
Wait, you want to know what? Bro, just Geelong single-handedly got them over the betting odds of the over-under 164.5.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. I took the over. So like I was still kind
There
of right. Wasn't expecting that. Gosh, dude. Well, the over hit.
It's a tinny. Oh, thanks for pointing that out, BT.
What genius now?
He's very
What do you
good
say?
at Captain Obvious moments.
What do you say?
It does appear that the Sydney Swans are going to come out on the losing side.
Oh, thanks. Oh, okay, cool.
Thanks, Brian.
And
Nice,
hey,
Brian.
hey, BT, we figured that out about 45 minutes ago. Oh, shit.
So right now the 87-point margin is currently the fourth largest margin in VFL AFL history.
What a way to go out.
There's Selwood getting a standing O.
Attaboy. Good for Selwood, man. You love to
I
see
mean,
it.
he breaks the all-time finals played record tonight with his 40th final. Kicks a goal in the fourth quarter. Team absolutely runs Sydney off the park. I mean, what a way to go out for Selwood if indeed this is it.
Crap, I'm bad.
Cullen says, it's good for inbred Geelong fans, I guess.
Oh,
And these chats are savage.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, dude. Going at it tonight.
I'm behaving today too.
Eddie Betts finally celebrating a premiership.
That's a little low.
I know. But we were just talking about savage chats, so I figured.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude. It's my favorite thing about Aussies. They do not hold back.
Very little chill, if any.
Oh, it's
Well, it's not even a chill. It's if they go hard.
it's not a lack of chill, it's them purposely turning up the flames.
Junktown Pep.
No, Pap's got his.
Atta boy.
The crazy thing that you almost have to say is it sounds like Max Holmes was the one that pulled himself out, yet Sam Reed still played. Is Sydney ruining that decision? Not that I think that decision would have changed this result, but it's as I said in the podcast, you can't play a guy that's under 80% or less.
You know what though? This game is kind of
This is,
man. That's
but this is
back-to-back-
also okay. So
Oh.
I'm gonna discuss this one because I've seen this talked about all the time. Did you? I mean, I know Ross. You know all about the qualifications to be on the Stanley Cup, right?
Mhm.
Well, did you know that the only people that will get a medallion in this are only the 22 or 23 that play?
That's
So none of the guys on the bench get shit. So Max Holmes, who didn't play in this game, doesn't get anything out of this. Nothing.
That's kind of lame. I think if you sue it up, man.
Nope.
Oh,
Because he didn't play in this game, he doesn't get anything.
that's a
He's part of the team, but he doesn't get a medallion at all.
That's
The
tough.
only people that get a medallion are the 23 that
And he's
The
not
end.
considered a premiership player.
basically.
oh dang.
Yeah, you're not considered a
Well,
premiership
yeah.
player unless you play in this game.
Chill
And that's
out.
one thing that honestly I think they need to fix, because as I said in the thing, a premiership team is not just made in the team that wins the premiership day, because you have a full entire season to get there.
Yes.
In my personal opinion, I think it should be changed, and you should be able to get a medallion if you play a certain amount of games in the regular season, or at least one finals game. If you play one
I'm cool
game
with
in the
that.
finals, because you would have to win 3 or 4 games to get to winning it, that you should be able to get a medallion if you play in a finals game.
Oh man, you're emotional.
So you're just marking Dangerfield down as Norm Smith.
I'd say so.
I'm cool. You know, it's funny. I kind of thought he would do this. That's why I put out
The only other guy would be Isaac Smith. It's either of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just think so. I
those
put
would
out a
be the
graphic, today, just dropping Norm Smith predictions. I used Dangerfield in there, so I guess a little
What would be
prophetic. I'm kind of bummed by this, not just by the, I guess the final result, of course, but also last year's grand final wasn't that good. This year, in terms of closeness, this year's clearly wasn't. I want a good game.
Yeah,
And then
I guess we
even
were
a few years
spoiled a
ago,
little
Richmond
bit.
and Geelong was kind of too.
That was another one of those that one thing changed and it kind of flipped on their head. So
Yeah, good point. So I don't know, boys. Thoughts on the game? Thoughts on the season? In fact,
oh, an incredible season, but as I've said so many times, this just leaves such a bad taste in your mouth. I hate blowouts.
mm-hmm.
Even if Sydney were to have blown out this game, it's like I hate blowouts because it just leaves such a bad taste at the end of the season, no matter who it happens to. Like it's frustrating because it just shows it just shows how fickle footy is. Footy can be a very fickle situation because it's like, I mean, like I was telling earlier, 2010 they have a draw. Then the next week, St. Kilda gets blown out by 65.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally how fickle the game is. The week before they're completely evened, and the next week it's a 65-point loss. So I don't know. It's just it's frustrating, and not just because I'm a Swans fan. It's just I hate these results. Absolutely, they taint, in my opinion, they taint a little bit the season. All due respect and class to Geelong. They were the best team. They were the best team. There's absolutely no argument. It's not because they won. It's because they showed why they were so good. So I mean, well deserved, well earned. This was what I was worried about. So
Minor premiers usually don't win the grand finals. So.
No. It was Melbourne and Sydney that were in the best spots historically.
yep, second and thirds tend to be. So
I do think it was a great season overall, man. There was a lot more questions towards the end of the year. Who was going to make it in the finals, week one, the semifinals, and the prelims, all just crazy games. So I can't complain. This game does kind of put a bad taste in the finals mouth, but overall, I can't complain with this season, though.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, best team ended up winning the flag, and credit to them, all credit to them. And then I think in terms of Sydney, I think that, yeah, it's, like you guys said, it's going to definitely leave a bad taste in the mouth getting run off the park in the final. But I think at the end of the day, if it doesn't motivate you to go after it again, I mean, then you're in the long business. So they're going to be after it again next year. They're built for the long term, the Sydney side. So
absolutely,
they'll be in it with a chance the next couple of years, and they'll be able to have a couple more cracks at it. So this is definitely not the last of the Sydney team that you're going to see.
Oh no, and and the funny thing about it is that it's a little bit different, but it's a little bit like the Richmond dynasty. Is they got into a finals and fell short a couple of times, and then look at what happened with them. Like I said, if you look at the list for Geelong in the next 5 years, they're going to have some changes because of some of the elder statesmen that are there. Where Sydney, if you look at it over the next 5 years, they shouldn't, barring any massive things, shouldn't change very much. So there's still a lot of talent there. So it's going to be one of those. It sucks because it kind of, like I said, it throws a bad taste in your mouth at the end of a great season. But there's so much great footy played. This finals was absolutely electric. This season was electric. Like, as much as everybody shit on the stand rule, it's honestly, I think it's been one of the best rules they've brought in because it's really opened up play and made offensive footy a little bit more. It brought in the purity of the game, the skill more than just the running. So I'm interested to see when Gill finally does leave, which now sounds like maybe a little bit further on because this whole Hawthorne situation has thrown a massive spanner in the works on that one. So I don't want to address it because it's still allegations, because I don't want to jump one side or t'other. I have my opinion, but it's an opinion, and opinions are like a certain body cavity. Everybody's got one, and some are worse than others.
So final stats, we've got Tyson Stengel was leading goal kicker, 4 goals, 1 behind. Hawkins, 3 goals, 4. Isaac Smith, 3 goals, 1. Jezza Cameron, 2 goals, 1. Chad Warner with 2 straight for Sydney. Papley, 1 goal, 2 behinds. Isaac Smith finishes 32 disposals. Chad Warner finishes second place with 29 disposals. Mitch Duncan, 27. Selwood and Dangerfield on 26. Inside 50s, Isaac Smith had 11. Dangerfield had 7. Dangerfield with 9 clearances to Smith's 5. Meters gained 771 for Isaac Smith to Dangerfield's 469. So I think it's going to be relatively neck and neck for the Norm Smith. I I think I'd still go Dangerfield just because he's had several huge clearances out of the middle. But I could definitely see him giving it to Isaac Smith. I'd go either of those two.
If I had to pick right now, I would just go with Dangerfield. Because I will.
Yeah, I have a hard time. As much as Isaac Smith's goals are big, what Danger did in the midfield was the reason that it happened.
Yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And I do think it's fitting that Danger finally gets his premiership and likely gets a Norm Smith to go with it. Definitely took the game by the scruff of the neck.
That's pretty smooth.
So,
Yeah,
how much longer until we get Norm Smith? Is that going to be? Probably how much?
Should be it should be right
5 or
when-
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. When they come back, they usually do Norm Smith team medallion handout, then the coach handout, and with all of them, as soon as the so usually they have like the Norm Smith has to speak a few words, the captain of the losing team's got to speak, then you have the presentation of the medallions, then you have the captain of the winning team speak, then the coach speak, then the handing of the cup, and then the lap of honor, and then the song in the room. So probably is still at least another half an hour.
Well, fellas, it's 1:20. I got to get up at 8 for work in the morning. It's a pleasure. Oh boy,
All right, Ross, man.
it's good to.
Hey, good to see you, man.
Hey, shout out to the Seasons
Ross,
Dog,
take it
man.
easy.
If you guys aren't following them on YouTube, you should go do that right now because they run the tight show. Is what's up. And for fans, man, Donnie, can't wait to break down this season because we had definitely at least the grand final because there's going to be a lot to talk about. We're going to break down the grand final, then we're going to break down the season, and then we have a couple other things that planned, maybe like a throwback show from the first one we ever did. So watch out for that.
Hey,
'Cause that one
Ross,
just
do you want me to reach out to Jude and see what day he's open, and we'll kind of go off him so we don't inconvenience him anymore?
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'll talk to you
All right,
tomorrow
I'll
and-
reach out to him over the weekend. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
try to bug him right now, and I'm not gonna try to bug him probably tomorrow. But
and-
I'll reach out to him for the weekend to see if he still wants to chat that, and I think he'd be a good guy to have for the season review with that as well. So
He'd be a good guy to have for literally anything. So
yeah. Well, no, it's just he's been super cool about everything, and like after the Swans won the prelim, he reached out to me. He's like, "How good was that?" So I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's dope. That's awesome. Yeah, but fellas, hopefully you guys get some sleep. Enjoy the rest of the grand final festivities, and I will get you guys soon. Maybe we're going to do some off-season stuff. I feel like so it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, for
Everyone
sure,
should
man.
subscribe and stay
Sounds
tuned.
good, man.
I'll definitely say is after the draft, guys. If anybody wants to be on the draft to talk with Pete again, let me know. I know it'll be a little bit, but that invitation, I think Pete always loves answering questions since he's absolutely insanely good. So the invitation's always there, Brad. You guys too. You guys want to hop on that episode? I'll make sure and reach out when we schedule that.